Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh. A lot of people have debates on what we should wear to Gurdwara. What clothes does Guruji like? Some people say you should wear jeans and it's okay. Some people say never wear jeans. Some people say anything goes as long as your head's covered. You have a chunni. Other people say strict salwar kameez. Boys should always wear chola. Men should always wear chole, kurte, pajame. Girls should always wear suits. We see a lot of debates on what type of clothes are appropriate to wear. And it's not just in Sikhism. If you look at every religion, some put on hats when they go into their place of worship. Some uncover their heads when they go to their place of worship. If you go into a Jewish synagogue, you're expected, if you're a man, to wear the yarmulke. And if you go into a church, you're expected, if you're a man, to take off any caps that you have. Sometimes you can even tell what religion a person is just by the clothes they're wearing. For example, if you see a woman in a habit, you'll know that that's a nun, that's a Christian sister most likely. And then if you see a woman in a hijab, one of our hijabi sisters, you'll know that she's a Muslim. And if you see a woman in a dastar or a keski, you'll know that, like us, she's a Sikh. So we have these outer appearances, and sometimes we get so caught up in them that we forget the real clothes that please the Guru. So next time you dress up for Gurdwara, next time you look your Sunday best. And this is not just for Sikhs. This Bani came down to guide the world. So next time you go to your church, next time you go to your masjid, next time our Hindu sisters and brothers go to their mandirs, next time you go in front of your Guru at Gurdwara, what type of kapre are you supposed to wear? What type of clothing should you put on? Today, Guruji tells us in today's Hukamnama, Tilang Mahalla Pehla Kar Tija. The rag is Tilang. It was written by Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and it's a Bani of the third house. Ek Oankar Satgur Prasad. There's one infinite God who's present in all, everywhere, who never ends. And that God is in this world in a special form in which he is realized. Or I don't like saying he for God, in which that force is realized. That God is in this world in the form of kirpa, compassion, in the form of Gur Parshad. That Guru is here in the form of kirpa, Gur Prasad. So today Guruji says, Etan Maya Pahya Pyare Lithada Lab Rangai. The clothing that I'm wearing, it is full of materialism, Maya. Etan Maya. My body, my soul. Guru Sahib is not just talking about outer clothes, but the soul. We might put on the clothes of someone who has renounced the world, but inside we are burning with worldly desire. We are burning with hate and anger. So what's the use? So etan maya paya pyare. My clothing is the color of greed. It is dyed in greed. When you dye something, it becomes a different color. It becomes like it. It shares virtues. And my body is so full of greed. My soul is full of greed. The way I dress myself, I am full of greed. I am full of anger. My inner body burns. And outside, I wear clothes that make me look like I'm a scholar, a religious person. I can dress up like a Granthi, but inside I have greed. I can dress up like a sister, a nun, but I haven't learned a thing about chastity or poverty, or love or compassion. So here we have the state of some people. Mera kant na pave cholara pyare, kyu tan se jai jai. But this clothing that I wore, my inner greed, my inner selfishness, my inner vices, God is not happy with these clothes. No matter what I wear on the outside, my Guru is not happy to see that I came to Gurdwara and I came to Matha Tek, but I'm wearing my anger on my soul. Because Guru's going to see your soul. God is not going to be happy that you went to church and you're wearing your hatred. God is not going to be happy that you perform your namaz and you cover up from head to toe. If you're a woman, you wear the whole covering out of respect if you're a Muslim woman. But if inside you also wear the ugliest clothing of anger and hatred, then how are you going to find God? So God, the soul's husband, is not happy with these clothes. How can we approach God's bed, God's altar? How can we approach our Guru's charan? How kurbane jao meherwana, how kurbane jao. Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, my compassionate Lord, over and over again, I surrender myself to you. How kurbane jao tinake lan jo tera now. Amazing. Guru Nanak Dev Ji surrenders himself, one to God and to those who take God's name, those who love God inside. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, the saint of saints, says, I myself fall at the feet of such people. Lan jo tera now tinake ho sad kurbane jao rahao. Pause. Here is the main theme of the Shabad, the rahao. Those who meditate on God, I always sacrifice myself in front of them. I always fall on their feet. Always, forever. Even today. Even today, those who love God, Guru Nanak is with them. Rani rahe soi sikh mera, O Sahib, main uska chehra. Guru Sahib surrenders to those who meditate on God. Because what happens when someone loves God? Kaya rangan je thiye pyare, paye nao manjeet. If you dye yourself with the love of God, with meditation on the Naam, with singing God's praises, if you make your heart beautiful, you dye it in the dye of God. Rangan wala je range sahib aisa rang na deet. And if you surrender to God, and God alone is the person who makes you love Him, you surrender yourself, just give it up. You pray to God, you love God and say, God, make me yours. Give me your virtues, dye me. Become my dyer, become my dye. God is the dyer and the dye. No room for ego here. And what will happen then? Asa rang na deet. Guruji says, you look so beautiful if you dye yourself like that. There's no color like that. You'll be so beautiful that this type of color, this type of beauty, the color of the dye of God's name, will be unparalleled. A type of beauty that has never been seen before. Jinke chole rattare pyare, kant tina ke paas. Kant tina ke paas. Those who have such beautiful souls, those whose shawls are dyed like this, with the love of God, the shawls that God dyes Himself, those people are always with God. God is always with them. And look at Guru Nanak Dev Ji's humility. Guruji says, Tur tanaki je mile ji, koho nanak ki ardas. Guruji says, if I could have the dust of the feet of such beautiful souls, if I could grasp the feet, if I could become the dust of the feet. This is humility speaking. Not everything in Gurbani is to be taken literally. Otherwise, when Guru Sahib says that I cut myself into pieces, then you see the line continued. How did Guru Sahib cut himself into pieces if the line is going? Some people think everything's literal. Some things are literal, but over here, Guru Sahib is not saying go and find someone who's meditating and rub against their dust of their feet. No. Guruji is saying their virtues, their good qualities, their love. Become humble in front of them. Ask them to pray for you. Ask them to teach you. Become like them. Always remain the dust of everyone's feet. always remain most humble of all. Dur tina kije milaji, koho nanak ki ardas. Please give me the dust of those people, those humble, beautiful people. That is Guru Nanak Dev Ji's prayer. Ape saje, ape range. God alone decorates, God alone dyes in love, dyes us in the color of God's love. Ape nadar kare, and after God is done dyeing us, God looks at us with his beautiful glance of grace, his mer pari nadar, his compassionate smile, glance of grace. Nanek kaman kanthe pave, ape hi rave. And in this way, the soul looks beautiful to the husband God. And God comes, and after seeing the beauty that God in his love has made, God enjoys it. God lives within the person, and they are in bliss day and night. So next time you think about what clothing you want to wear to Gurdwara, remember that the biggest, most beautiful, best thing that you could wear on your soul is love and humility and surrenderance to God. Take this message with you today. Think, what clothes am I wearing on my soul? Would my Guru be happy if I came in front of my Guru in these clothes? Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.